A lot of times people get it confused with crowdfunding, but it's not crowdfunding. What it is, if you're a creator, you're creating some type of content, you're able to offer some type of value to your audience. Your audience can support you by pledging a certain amount, and it's either per month or per thing, whatever those things are that you're doing. Let's just say for me it would be per tutorial or per video or per live training, whatever I decided. But mines are set for per month. So the creator has the choice either per month or per thing, because some folks put out more than one thing per month that they think or that people would want to pledge for. And okay, so it could be any type of service, correct? Yes, it could be. Oh, and Sabrina, you captured a moment. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, it could be any type of service or entertainment or let's see, mostly you have a lot of creatives there, musicians, comedians, podcasters, artists, folks like me who do training and tutorials. Tim Schmoyer, he's doing training and tutorials. And then some folks are just whatever content they're creating online, they're not really doing anything exclusive just for patrons. It's just a way for people to go over and show support for whatever it is that they're doing. So let me explain that a little bit further. As you become a patron, the creator has the option to set different levels of how much money people would show support with. So, for example, it could be $1 a month or $5 a month. Those are the typical ones. Or $12 a month. That's one that I have. Then there's people that go up to as high as 50, 150, $700, $500 a month, which would be, somebody who really has a strong following, or people that have followers with deep pockets. All right, let's make sure I got everything. So it could be any type of service. Yes. All right. And so, all right, so it's recurring funding. So the creator, let's just say it's Sabrina. Sabrina would need to first set up goals. What are the goals? Because the people that are supporting you, they kind of know that you probably just don't want to buy a hamburger or Starbucks with the $3 they're giving you every month. For example, for me, my goal is to have money for my Philadelphia podcasting meetup group so that we have refreshments and, to pay for we get pizza and buy beer and all of that for whenever we have a meetup. Now, I can change that at any time. I might say, okay, I need a new webcam, which I don't, but just say I need a new mic. Who doesn't need a new mic? You always need a new mic. Even if you have one, you need another one. All right? So I could make that as one of my goals. And so people know as they're supporting me that they're helping me to buy a new studio. Okay? So as you have these goals, then you have the perks or the rewards. So at the $1 level, you might say, for $1 patrons, I'll mention you in a tweet every month, or I'll give you a shout out in my next YouTube video. I'm just thinking of random things. It's up to the creator to set what those levels are. Let me give you another example, real life example from Tim Schmoyer. You can come in at a $3 level or a $10 level. He might have a $1 level, but I don't think too many folks go for that. They go for either the 3 or the 10 or the higher ones that he has, because I think he goes all the way up to $250. For the $10 patrons, you get an exclusive podcast episode. You also get the option to come into the monthly Hangouts. So he does a Hangout. He doesn't use Hangouts. He uses Zoom. But, there could be 10 other creators there. And it's like rapid fire, almost like a mastermind. Q&A. I have this problem, and Tim will go around. Does anybody have any ideas how so-and-so could solve this problem? And they're really fun. And even every now and then, he'll actually broadcast them on his YouTube channel, which I was lucky. I got in one time, even though I didn't realize we were going live on YouTube that day, but I did. So that was really fun. So these are the perks. And he also mentions folks in his YouTube videos. You know, he'll say that these are my supporters. These are the people that are supporting and making this podcast possible. And he gives us the opportunity to record maybe a little 2 minutes or, a minute of here's why I support Tim Schmoyer, or here's why I think you should support Tim Schmoyer on Patreon. Okay, so that's kind of, the gist of how it works. There's all different scenarios, depending upon the type of talent and the type of art or value that you're offering your patrons. If you're an artist, I'll give you another example. Heather Crafter. If you guys aren't familiar with Heather Crafter, she actually is a crafter, and her last name Crafter is spelled with 2 A's, but that's her real name. But she just so happens that she's a talented. I believe she uses watercolors for her crafts. It doesn't matter. When you go over, you see her thing. Even if you follow her on Instagram, she does these little time-lapse things of her creating these drawings, and it's just amazing. And, she will have, for a certain level of patrons, she'll give them the drawing that she did on this, particular day or a particular week or whatever, however she does it. So it's really cool, and it eliminates the middleman. Sabrina, oh, wow, you could use my referral link. I didn't know you were creating a page. Just go to eileensmith.com/Patreon. And then that way, it's a referral. I don't get any money unless you get $500 worth of patrons in your first 90 days or 30 days or something. Then we both get extra money. So let it be written. So let it be done. Yes, that's it. There you go. So that's a referral link. And then you're also kind of like under my wing, but you'd be under my wing anyway. If you needed help with anything of setting up your page, or, the hardest part for everybody that I kind of, brought into the process, or even folks that were in the process before, like, for example, Friar Wade, he already had his Patreon page, but we still needed to work out what are the perks and what are the goals. And it's great because it actually is something that you should be doing anyway, thinking about your goals, right? So the Patreon just kind of helps you sort some of that stuff out, which is why I've always, when I first heard of it, it's a different business model, guys. It eliminates that need for the advertisers. And, oh, hey, Tish, how you doing? How'd you know I was live, Tish? Yes, I know it's Tish. I know when I see Gracie TEU, it's Tish. But I love, hi, and hey, Dylan, how are you? So you guys seeing me on YouTube? Are you seeing me on YouTube? I would love to know. Notification. Oh, so I am on YouTube. I can't find the video. So if you happen to have that link, paste that link to the chat for the YouTube video, because I'm looking at my YouTube channel and I don't see it over there. So that's okay, though. But I just don't want to get confused with the chats, because, there's so many different chats. And I don't want to miss any of your comments. So let's do another little screen share really quickly. To give you an idea of the scope of Patreon, there is this really cool tool, and one of the users of Patreon decided that they were going to make a leaderboard. And, this is a guy who just knows how to code. He's not paid by Patreon or anything. This is something that I guess they gave him access to the API, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. He created a site called Grafti- Graftreon. It's a tongue twister because it's Patreon, but only with the word graph. And it shows the leaderboard, like it tells you all the different people that are having growth of their patronage and who's the number one patron. So the number one patron is Creating Trap House Podcast, Chapo. All right, 10,000 patrons. Okay, so don't think that Patreon is for small potatoes. He's getting $49,500 on his Patreon every month, which I just think is mind-blowingly amazing. Okay? Then we've got Kind of Funny, who's 30,000. We could just go down the list here. And let's see, what else is interesting on this? Oh, hey, Beauty, how are you? Let's see, those are the top creators. Let's just look at all creators and see what it says. Oh, and this is the guy who makes it. Oh, I'm sorry, that went down real quick. So if you wanted to sort by the lowest earners, just so, not trying to shame anybody, but just to see that there's a bunch of folks that just signed up in March. And already they're getting in, they've got one person has 9 patrons. I have 10. So this person just joined and they have 9 already. This one's got 14. So 50. And they just joined this month. See, so you can get in here. And if you've got an existing audience, you can, see some pretty quick growth. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you as well. All right, so let me end the screen share again. Okay, so I'm going to ask if anybody wants to come and join me on cam. But before I do that, I just want to go over my Patreon checklist. And this is really short. And we already talked about some of it. Okay, so you're going to brainstorm your value proposition. What's the value that that you can offer, but think about what's doable for you. Because remember, you're going to be probably telling your patrons that you're going to do this thing every month, whatever it is, or create this thing every month. So think about what's doable for you, okay? So once you know your value proposition, then it's easy for you to say what the perks or the rewards are going to be for your patrons. And it also helps you with writing out your about, like what's your about page sort of thing over on Patreon. Then you're going to choose a category, and I think the categories are kind of limited for folks like me who do tutorials. There's like no real tutorial category, so I think I ended up being in something like film or video or something like that. But then if you're an artist, there's plenty of categories for that. All right, set the goals. I mentioned my Philadelphia podcasting meetup, having the refreshments, but I probably am going to add some different goals in there, which will be related around buying equipment and or paying for tools, because I use a lot of software. I use a lot of tools, and a lot of them are not free. So then you set your rewards. Okay, so you have the different levels, and now Patreon, let me show you my page. Patreon has made it so you need to give your names to the rewards. I'm not sure why they did that, but I guess it does make it a little bit more clear. Okay, let me get this lined up first before I start the screen share. All right, I can do that now. All right. All right. So if anybody is actually commenting over on YouTube, I just want to let you know that I'm on YouNow. So you go to younow.com/Eileen, ILEANE. Oh, okay. Yes. I hope you feel better soon, Tish. And yeah, if you're having a migraine, I love, love, love using Aleve. So take some Aleve, turn off the lights, and Get you some rest, hun. Okay, so as I was talking about the rewards, I think this is a really important point to make sure that we cover here. So the rewards have names. So I decided for the $1 level, which is sold out, by the way, because I only offered that to 4 people, and that I'm calling it a content starter. So I'm just reading out what I have here as my rewards just to give you guys an idea of what you could do. All right. I have a YouTube course, so they get a coupon for my course, which is an $80 course. So basically, well, you can't do it anymore for $1. Let's say, well, the next level is $5, but let's just finish reading it. You'll get access to exclusive things like Kindle ebooks, royalty-free images, WordPress themes, graphics, and I've definitely held myself to that. And anytime I have a discount coupon, now I also have an RSS feed, audio-only RSS feed, which this talk that I'm giving right now will probably go into that audio RSS feed if I make the video unlisted on YouTube. Okay. So the first one was content starter. The next one is a content creator. And what I did, and I sat down with one of my patrons just last month, and we did a one-on-one YouTube channel audit. And it was so good. I mean, we really took his channel apart. And hi, Fraser, how are you? And he really, he felt like he gained a lot from that. Now, a lot of my patrons have not taken me up on this. Beauty, we've also done the same with her channel. And she's got some things that she wants to do and wants to achieve on her channel. So, and then also, if you're in the $5 pledge, then you get everything that's in the $1. The next would be the $12, and that's what I'm calling a content superstar, where I actually sit and have a one-on-one. Maybe this person doesn't have a YouTube channel, or maybe they have YouTube, but they're not sure how to integrate it with all their other properties. So we do a brainstorming where we would, just look at your whole body of work, and we'll see how we can integrate those things better and maybe do some productivity tools and tips. All right. And then also I have 2 premium accounts that I have access to, and I'm able to add people as team members to those premium tools. And these tools are hard to come by. BuzzSumo, which you guys have probably heard about BuzzSumo, but you don't get much free playing. You're very limited. So I actually pay for this tool, but I'm able to add team members. So for the $12 a month patron, they can become a team member. And then the other thing, the same deal, is Post Planner. So these are 2 tools, and it's great for people that are content creators, or even if you're not a content creator and you have a Facebook page, that Post Planner, or even if you have Twitter, that Post Planner is the bomb for finding content and just serving up some of the best content to your community, because they have an algorithm that shows you what's doing well on Facebook and on Twitter. So anyway, guys, like I said, I wasn't showing you that to try to convince you to become a patron, which you can, though, by the way, at patreon.com/Eileen. I was showing you that really to just give you an idea of what you could offer. I'm hoping that got the wheels turning in your head. Like, what could I offer folks? Could I offer them some coaching? Or could I just give them a critique? Or could we as a community do masterminding? Yeah, that's a tongue twister. But, have a mastermind. Or a monthly hangout. Or and anything along those lines. And like I said, it all depends upon the content that you are. Like, for example, I know that Carlos does a lot of video stuff. So maybe he will offer, especially if somebody was in his local area. I'm not saying he would do this, but let's just, as an example, he could say, I will come and film you. You get 1 hour a month. And maybe he might that might be for a $25 a month patron, which is probably what, he would charge for $1. I don't know. I mean, for 1 hour. I don't know. I'm just making that up. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Say yes. Give me some. All right. Yes. What would you suggest that I offer as my first reward? Maybe a private Q&A broadcast. Yep. A monthly. You could set up a Facebook group. Sabrina, you could set up a private Facebook group, which I've often thought about doing that for my patrons. Oh, hey, Carla, it's her first time coming over to you now. Hey, girl, how are you? Yeah, and by the way, if anybody else is on YouTube and they're seeing this, come over to younow.com/Eileen, ILEANE. You can sign in with Twitter, Facebook, or Google+. And I know if you've got YouTube, 90% of you have Google+. So Carla, say hi to everybody. Fraser's here. Sabrina's here. Tish, I'm not sure if she went to lay down or not. Beauty, I think Beauty's still here. So we're talking about Patreon. So if you're not familiar with Patreon, you can watch this replay and find out how you can set up your own Patreon. Guys, one of the things that I've always wanted to do was to help folks. When I learn something, I want to spread that knowledge and share it with my friends and my fam. And so, I went through the process. It was really took me a long time to come back to Patreon because I'd started off my page and just didn't put much into it, but it's just like anything else. The more you put into it, the more it can grow and the more it can flourish. And, like I said, I have 10 patrons now, and I'm happy. I'm satisfied because really I know this is a core group of people that appreciate, value what I do, and the value that I provide. They find that it's helpful for them. They know that anytime they can reach out to me, and you can reach out to me as well. And with that, I will show you how you can leave me a voicemail over on SpeakPipe. And I'll spell my name for you guys one more time, even though by now I'm sure you got it. But it's ILEANE. And if you ever have a question, you could always leave a voicemail for me over on SpeakPipe. So I'll show you how that works. Here's my SpeakPipe page. Then you would just go and you would either do this on your phone. It's speakpipe.com/Eileen. So you could either do it on your phone, and then you could just use the mic that's on your phone, or if at your computer, hopefully you have an external mic, or you have a webcam and you can use that mic. Okay, and then you would just leave your question, state your name and give me your email address. Actually, you have to sign in with your email address, so it automatically gives the email address. Just speak clearly, and then I will get back to you. And Beauty, she's done it before. She's left me questions over there on my SpeakPipe, and sometimes she just leaves me feedback. She's such a dear. And, she may even leave me a message tonight. And so one day I'll get a chance, once I figure out how to do that without OBS or anything, I'll play some of her feedbacks in my my podcast. Well, I could do it on my podcast or on YouTube. So guys, think about Patreon. Okay, if you want to sign up for Patreon, use my referral link. And this is how the referral link just means that once you sign up, if you were to get, I think it's $500 worth of pledges within that first month, then you and I will both get some kind of a bonus, But I just think it's nice that if you sign up with my referral link, and at least Patreon sees that I'm also supporting the platform because, like I said, guys, it's a different business model. We don't have this problem that we have over on YouTube where you have the AdSense, right? But you don't know who the advertisers are. They put whatever ads they want to put up on your video, and you have no say-so in it. Of course, you can block ads after the fact, but who has the time to sit there and know exactly what ads are showing up on their videos all the time? Especially if you're like me, you have YouTube Red already, you don't even see the ads. So this eliminates that. It's kind of flipping that whole concept on its head and saying, look, people can decide who they want to support. They don't have to click on an ad that takes them to a website where they have a probably miserable experience, or maybe it's something that they want to buy, but they're not really sure, and then next thing you know, they're getting remarketed. It's just a vicious cycle. This is between the creator and the supporters. Okay, Patreon gets out of the way. They give the platform for you guys, for us to connect with one another, but they get out of the way. So I really like that whole concept. I hope it continues. I love to see it thrive. I love to see you thrive. And so that's why I present this information to you guys. And I just hope that somebody who may have been thinking about doing it is now convinced. Like Sabrina says, she was signing up as we were speaking. So with that, just one more thing before I leave, guys. I just find it kind of amazing that I'm not seeing this over on YouTube, but clearly it's there, and Tish even gave me the link, but I don't want to click on it because the way this platform works. So yes, and Sabrina saw me over there too. So, and I know that someone else who was here earlier is only following me over on YouTube. So, oh, Dylan Vlogs, because he came to my live stream the other day. And so shout out to Dylan Vlogs, and shout out to Carlos, who was here, Sabrina, Beauty, Fraser, was Hattrick and Ramsey there. And I really enjoy coming on and chatting with you guys. And so I look forward to the next one, and I hope you do as well. I'm sure I will be on YouTube, probably not using this YouNow platform, but we'll see, next weekend, or this coming weekend. Just try to do at least one video a week, but this makes two. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much for coming. Love you all.